In honor of Women's History Month, our Veterans Voices in March will be dedicated to women who have served in our nation's military. Tonight, you'll meet Erin Bowers, who served in the U.S. Army Reserve. She enlisted before she was even out of high school in the late 80s. Her service took her to places like Honduras and Saudi Arabia, places where women's roles are very different than they are in the United States. This is her story in her own words.
Some of your hardest days, but when you look back on it, some of your best days.
Erin Bowers fondly remembers her time serving in the U.S. Army Reserve. She enlisted while still in high school, heading to boot camp after finishing her junior year.
It was challenging. The most challenging thing for me was shooting rifles because I never shot a rifle, M16 before that. AIT was the next summer, and I did personnel training for that, and then I did a secondary military occupational specialty of driving trucks, believe it or not.
After graduating high school, she continued to drill with her unit, becoming close through teamwork.
You meet people that you have a bond with that you could not see them for 10 years and you see them and you're almost like you're just the same as you were 10 years ago or something with them.
It wasn't until she was in college that her unit was activated in 1991 during Operation Desert Storm.
My unit was transportation, hauled food, they hauled munitions, they hauled medical supplies, anything that needed hauled.
But before leaving, she had to go through some cultural training because women's roles were very different in Saudi Arabia.
For example, women weren't allowed to drive. We were allowed to drive in military uniform. We were allowed to drive, yes. But we had different times because there was a Ramadan was their holy season over there, and you had to have our sleeves all the way down and everything in the heat. There's a lot of things that we take for granted here, especially women really need to realize all the things that people have fought for, the rights that we have.
Bowers mainly worked in personnel and says gender wasn't an issue during her military service.
There's a lot of things that, if you can do the job, then you're fine and just do the job. I mean, I think back in the 80s that you did want to be a step, be as best that you can be so that you're taken seriously.
Her service came to an end in the spring of 1992. She says she's glad she chose the reserves.
The Army slogan back in the day was be all that you can be, and I think that's an important thing for anybody, whether you're in the military or not. Be all that you can be, do the best that you can do, and wherever you're at and whatever situation you're in. Try to be the best person that you can be. Only compete with yourself and not other people.
Throughout her service, Bowers was also going to school at then West Liberty State College, where she graduated with a degree in teaching. She had a lot more stories to share with us, including about what it was like living at a camp in Saudi Arabia. You can hear plenty more from Bowers by heading over to our website, WTRF.com.